Hey guys, KRX50 here with a double review. This time I'll be reviewing the Itadaki Kaitou Lupin Sword and the Kakusei Keibou Megabo from Kaitou Sentai Lupinranger versus Keisatsu Sentai Patranger. These are the primary weapons of the two different teams that each have two different modes. So, let's get started. First up, we'll look at the Lupin Sword. So this is the primary weapon of the Lupinrangers, which is this long red sword. You can see here, got a nice silver blade. You have the grip here, which has the Lupinranger symbol in silver, as well as more orange highlights to keep with the theme of this series. We got a couple of other grips here, which are for the other mode, and then this little ring down here. Now, one thing to know about this is that this has no electronics of any kind, no lights and no sounds. So the most you can do with this in terms of roleplay is kind of swing it around like a sword. Though the weird thing about that is that for most Bandai products these days, in the instructions they actually have a little warning telling kids not to swing it around, which I think is a little bit ridiculous because that's the main way of playing with this. And it really would be wiser to just have a warning telling you not to hit people or things with it. So for the other mode, you're just going to flip it around like this, and then have Magic Hand mode, where you use this lever here to open and close this little grabby claw, just like so. And you can use it to grab onto different objects, like say the red dial fighter. Though it can be a little bit tricky. One that might be a little bit easier to pick up would be Trigger Machine Ichigo. Just like that. And you can see that as you move it, or open and close it, this part moves backwards and forwards. Then you've also got this little part that moves along with it. Well, besides that, there isn't anything to this toy. Next, we'll look at the Megabo, which is the primary sidearm of the Patrangers. So its default mode is Megaphone mode, where you can see it has a nice white and black color scheme, with some orange accents and red on the back. And this color scheme helps it match up pretty well with the Versus Changer. So you have the Patranger symbol here in black. The part that you normally speak into for a megaphone is rather dummied out, but on the front is where you have the speaker, so that's a nice little touch. You have the trigger back here, or down here rather. You have the back, which doesn't have the symbol painted on, but instead raised and molded. And for this one, it includes button cell batteries inside, so you've got a software pull tab here, and then your reset button right here. So then you can pull out, or telescope, this part to change it into Keibou or police baton mode. And so for this, there are two different ways of activating sounds, one by short press and then one by long press. So for megaphone mode, we'll use the sounds with the long press. And again, the phrases for this are in Japanese, so I'll do a little bit of translation. So the first phrase is, "This is Keisatsu Sentai Patranger." And while it's like this, you can get a basic attacking sound for the police baton mode. Then you move on to the next sound, where it says, "You there, stop right now." Then when you pull the trigger, you get a police whistle sound. I'll move on to the next one, where it says, "Stop this fuel resistance." And you get a barrier sound. And finally, we have the special attack sound. So, we'll press it once again. So to start, it'll say, push them back. Then when you pull the trigger, it'll say, no good, absolute slash. Then it cycles back to the normal attack sounds. And finally, we'll compare the two. Now obviously in the megaphone mode, the Pat Megabo is going to be shorter than the Lupin Sword. The same is also true when you telescope it out, even comparing the bombs of the grips to the top of the attacking parts, although in that case they're roughly more the same size. But there is certainly a bit of a trade-off between these two in terms of what they can do. And there we go. So overall, for these weapons, there is a bit of an interesting contrast and interesting differences that they chose to make in how these two are put together and what they have. Whereas the Lupin Sword is a longer weapon, and certainly a bit longer than most Sentai melee roleplay weapons would be. It has no electronics of any kind, but instead has a magic hand feature or kind of a grabby claw. Whereas for the Pat Megabo, it's obviously a lot smaller, but it has a telescoping feature and also electronic sounds, which the other one doesn't. So it's a little bit iffy how to recommend these because these are of course for roleplay purposes. It just is unfortunate that they had to make this kind of trade-off, whereas I really do think that if they want to, they could have put in some sounds within the Pat Megabo, or rather the Lupin Sword, as long as they just managed to make some space for it. But if you're a fan of these two teams and you want a little bit more in terms of roleplay weapons, then I can certainly recommend picking these up. So next time I'll be reviewing the Sentai Hero series for both the main 3 Lupinrangers and the main 3 Patrangers tomorrow at 6 PM PST. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is Kaitou writing off.